Okay, where are we going? What?
So,
Okay.
we have had a lot on our mind since we've done our Dave Ramsey debt-free scream. We went and saw him, went to Tennessee, battled some weather.
Don't look at me.
And it was a fun adventure for us. So
basically, as you may or may not know, we went on literally the only day where there wasn't a video of our debt-free scream. We had to record it with our own camera. Half the crew was out because of the weather, because the roads were so bad. But Dave was still there, and there was still a good amount of people, and they were like the nicest people ever. They really made us feel comfortable there, and as you can see, or if you heard us, we were really nervous, and we felt like it was a little boring, and there was a lot of stuff that we forgot to say, so that's why we're wanting to kind of throw it in now. We'll try to make it as quick as possible, but I mean, there's a lot to talk about your debt-free journey.
Yeah. So you have I was told on the way home, we were thinking a lot about it, but you have 3 speeches, right? You have the one you prepare, you have the one that you give, and then you have the one that you wish you would have given whenever you think about it afterwards. So we didn't say everything, like I said. We started analyzing it, but we were blessed enough to be able to at least get on the radio show, and we set out to do what we wanted to do, snowstorm and all. So
it was just it didn't go as we had thought it would. For some reason, we both felt really like upset and depressed in a way after we left Dave's studio, and
the weather was
we just kept being like, dude, why do we feel like this? And I mean, I think it was just the weather, and our vacation didn't go as planned. We spent most of our time in the hotel room, and just with nobody being at the studio, you know, that, what's his name, Ken
Coleman.
He wasn't walking around doing the interviews, and
we didn't get everything we wanted, but of course, at least we got to do what we did.
But also, and they didn't air it like right away, and people kept texting us. They had been listening for hours, and they're like, I haven't heard it yet. And we're like, we don't know what's going on, and that was kind of stressing us out. But we went to eat, and then as we were driving to our next hotel, we finally heard it like at 8 o'clock that night. It was a big relief to hear it, because it went a little bit better than we thought it did.
You always wish you would have said something, so at least this allows us to express that and really say everything that we wanted to say. So, but the experience was awesome. I hope that you guys get to experience it one day and go through it, because looking at Dave Ramsey in the eye and really telling him how much he's changed our life, and
I'm sure he hears it all day, every day, but it still felt good to say it to his face.
Right, and go on live radio, but so.
And he was very nice, and they gave us free t-shirts.
Yeah,
because we are so cool.
So nervous.
There he is, there he is, there he is. He's about to go on the air. Looking for coffee. JoJo's starting to go a little crazy. She got her cookies. I'm the only ones here.
I got some notes written down, and I want to like make sure I say it, but I don't want to be like scripted it, you know?
Yeah, you will not need your notes, because you've lived it all out. You've lived it.
So one thing that I wanted to say was just really how much this show helped us, and what I wanted to say was that it's not just a radio show to us, to people that listen to a show and people that follow us plan. It is it's hope, and it is inspiration to us. I mean, we're to broken people. We were broken people, not on track doing what we were supposed to be doing, and when we found his radio show, it gave us hope and a vision, and let you know that it can be done. So basically,
a big part for us for our debt-free journey was learning how to give to our church, and to just have more of a giving heart, especially Jared. That happened for him, and he just wanted to say that, and we didn't do it.
Right. And
we learned how to manage money, handle money God's way, and
right. It's allowed us to financial freedom, allowed us to not have to focus and worry and put our time and thoughts into our debt. You know, we'd be able to take our blinders off and look around and see the world through God's eyes, and actually be able to do kingdom work. And that's what has been the most awesome thing for me, because that's the real reason what I want to be able to do is to give like no one else, and you have to live like no one else to be able to do that. But I was going to say that it hasn't just given us financial peace, it's helped us spiritually as well along this journey. I mean, we've grown closer with our church. We've been able to give. We're able to. Our lives have changed both ways, and it's
we've grown closer as a couple.
Our relationship is stronger.
Like we told Dave, we've been married 3 years, but I don't think I've ever said it on our channel. We've been together for like 11 years since
We're
high school.
High school sweethearts.
So we've been through a lot, and just with JoJo and doing all this, it's brought us closer together. Mm-hmm. You know, part of our church, this financial stuff, and JoJo has brought us closer than ever. Mm-hmm. I think it's because we're working on something together, and we mm-hmm. have the same goals and just the same plan for our future. And we agree on things.
And you feel like you've accomplished something together. I mean, that's something also too, is just a team. Like Dave says on our show, is like, y'all got a great teamwork, and it really made me think about the way we work together. I mean, she really is my better half, and I'm her better half. I feel like we do complete each other. We fight, we do have disagreements, yeah, of course, you know, that's always going to happen, but, you know, having the vision, having the goal, and just going back to the same page, like, you know, I know that what she's looking at, she has my best interest. I have her best interest. I'm not trying to go against her. We are a team. And when you look at it like that, dude, you can conquer the world, man. I mean, it's something that, with what he teaches and what he's doing, and you get on the same page, and I feel almost unstoppable, but you know, it's so cool to be feeling like that, you know, and I've started analyzing other things with my job. Like, I'm able to think, what do I want to do now for the rest of my life? I don't have to work for somebody else, you know. If I want to, I'm going to hopefully be able to get to where we have this, you know, 6 months expenses saved up, which we're getting there. That's going to take, think about the freedom. I'm going to be able to not have to feel like a slave. And
I felt like Dave really I felt like when I re-listened to it that we didn't explain very well about us not getting along, and I made it sound like we fight all the time or something, and then what he said afterwards, it felt like he really understood what we were talking about, probably because he's been doing this for so long.
As a recruiter, you're pretty much in sales.
Yes, sir.
And those of us that are salespeople, we tend to try to out-earn our stupidity,
yes, sir,
rather than stopping and controlling to the side. Now, Miss Accounts Payable over here, she's gonna crunch down and get things fixed. That's good. Okay, it's a great team.
Yeah. We made the conversation flow well. We overanalyzed it a little bit. But then again, we've never talked. We were so nervous about talking to the man we've been kind of idolizing for the past couple of years. It's just, you know, seeing him just kind of you know, it's famous to us. He's a household name around here. So, I mean, it's like, but, you know, he put us at ease. His whole team did, and it was awesome to be able to do that. But
and one thing, if you didn't really understand, that I felt he understood, was like, Jared would look at the budget and think, what can I do to earn more money so that I can still do some of the things I want, right, so that we can get out of debt. And for me, I would look at the budget, you know, that's the difference between a free spirit and the nerd or saver. I would look at the budget and think, where can we stop spending money, like, so that we can get out of debt?
And let me tell you why I think that way.
How can I tighten up the budget?
I think that way because I think that you don't settle, you know. I mean, right now, yes, you make small sacrifices, but if you have a limit on yourself, then you're going to limit yourself, right? So my mind's wired that way. I feel like if I want a better life for myself, then I've got to work hard for it and can't set standards. But
so, of course, that caused us to clash because we just think about things differently.
Now we realize.
But we have to learn to work together and compromise.
We're always like, you thought that, I thought this, no wonder, you know. I mean, and a lot of, the other day we had something come up, and you were looking at it at a different angle, and I was looking at it at a different angle.
You're just thinking of Dave's CD.
What was it?
You're just thinking of the story Dave told yesterday about the orange.
No, that was a good one. And then he had his whole team come down, which was awesome. And we got the headsets on. JoJo was distracting us, and then they have this whole team out there just kind of watching.
We were the only guests there, and then there was a whole bunch of people watching us, and they were all people that worked there.
Yeah, it was cool though, man. That was really.
And as soon as they started coming out, like we put the headphones on, and just a couple minutes till we go on, and they all just like start piling in there, and like we said this to each other later. We both like wanted to start crying when we saw that, just because like
I was happy. I was like
a happy cry because of the support.
And just like, oh my gosh, we're here. This is it.
Please don't cry on the radio.
Yeah, I didn't want to be. I wanted to actually show emotion, but I didn't want to cry right before the show started. Before I even got a chance to say a word, that'd have been weird. But ended up being so nervous. So anyway. one of the main things that we really wanted to say, and so after you do the interview with him on the air, he'll come out and talk with you. Good job, guys, shake your hand. So right when he came out, right when I got off the radio, I started thinking, I didn't say anything about God and Jesus and how much this whole journey financially has helped us spiritually, like I said, as well. And man, it is so awesome to be able to know that we are debt-free and can do work for the kingdom of God and really focus on what He wants us to do in our life. And that's where my wheels are spinning now, because I feel like I'm looking at life through a whole different lens and a whole different perspective. And now we're excited, about JoJo and our other baby coming. No.
Jared's really good about what our pastor calls keeping his spiritual antenna up, because he just notices people around him that he can bless. Like right after we left the show, we went to some steakhouse, and he saw how much cash we had left in our budget, in our envelope, because we weren't able to do anything. And there was this lady sitting next to us eating by herself, and so he wanted to pay for her meal. He's like, let's pay for her meal. I'm like, okay. So he told the waitress to let us pay for her meal, and she never knew it was us unless that lady told her after we left.
And that's the way we wanted it. I don't want to, and I don't want to say about it now, but I don't. If you try to take the glory, if I would have went up and said something to the lady and said, we wanted to buy your meal or something, well, then that gives me and Jessica, she would have told us, thank you for that. Would give us the glory, but what we want to do is I want to put the spotlight on God, because now she's not going to know. She's going to go, that's a God thing. Where'd that come from? Well, we know, but she doesn't, and that's the way we want it, because it is actually a God thing. God told me to do it, and that's the reason why I was able to see that. But that's about being debt-free. That's what it is, man, and that's really what's so key about what we focused on and what we were able to accomplish it, because I wanted to be able to not have to think about this. I know I would sit there and watch Jessica. And before we got on this whole budget thing, I was real consumed with my money and always thinking about it, analyzing it, and trying to make sure it was being spent right, but not doing anything with it. It was just a constant loop, cycle, debt that was never ending until we went on.
You probably felt like you were controlling your money when you had your little spreadsheet,
yeah,
but you weren't.
I wasn't doing anything with it. It was just like I said, coming in and out. But now that we don't have to even focus on the debt and the worry and then some of you people, if you are having bill collectors calling you, I mean, I can imagine how much worry you're losing sleep over that, man, And once that's gone, your mind is free. Think about it. Think about how much time and thoughts and, how much debt consumes your thoughts and your time and your energy and your mind and your focus, and everything is drawn to it. And once it's gone, what are you going to do with your thoughts? What now? Well, now you get to set a new goal, and you get to set a new dream, and that's where I'm at now, and it's blowing me away, dude, because it really is financial freedom. It's financial peace to the T, man, and it's awesome to know that we can focus on what God has planned for us. And I know this is just a chapter in our book, and I'm so glad that I'm able to share it with everybody, our friends, our family. I mean, we're seeing people change that are right in front of us, and it's so freaking awesome to see that happening, and that we've influenced that, and that other people's influenced us, and how it's just a chain reaction. And so we're learning, and we're trying to just pass along what we learn and what we know, and you got to do the same. You got to have an open hand for money, have an open hand for learning. What comes in goes. What comes in goes. It's the same thing with money. So. And
then you like how I threw in about the YouTube stuff. I really wanted to, of course, mention my channel and talk about my t-shirt, That Is Dumb, and talk about the Shaytards, because I know that Dave is friends with Shay Carl, but I just felt like I was blabbing on, and it's hard for me to get my words out when I'm put on the spot, so I just kind of stopped talking about the YouTube
I think
stuff.
Also just staying motivated is a big part of it, and your show helped the most, and then YouTube really helped, and there's tons of people dedicated to you on YouTube that record their journey and share it with the world, and so that was really helpful.
Yeah, there's a lot of video journaling out there going on, around this subject. Very cool.
I'm happy and looking forward to what the future holds for us. It's exciting. It's still scary because we still got steps to hit and steps to go, but it's so much more freeing and able to relax. And like I said, just really focus on you and what you want to do for the Lord and how He, because He doesn't want us to be in debt. He doesn't want us to be going through what we stress and think about. He wants us to have a good life, and I'm starting to realize that.
Handling money is simple, but it's not easy.
Right. I mean, think about it.
Like said today.
Or common sense for your dollars and cents. Dave says, It is really common sense, but it's hard. Sometimes common sense and simple things are hard to put into action. So we're about to teach FPU. That's one thing we didn't say at our church. We're about to be co-coordinators on that. So we get to influence others through that journey, and we've just been able to share our story with our church. And this morning, we had a church member talking to us about it, and she was older than we were, but it was so amazing just to be able to tell people our story, man, and how we've done this, and that it's possible because we're uneducated about it. Weren't you? For you, Dave, I don't know where we'd be, honestly, because I don't know where I would have learned this stuff. So.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
We're debt free!
Thank you guys for watching and all your support and love.
Love.